Okay, so today we got a new video and we're going to be discussing what my regrets are as a free-to-play player as well as a player who has spent money on this game in the past. And the first thing that has come to mind is actually a summon. And one of my biggest regrets is summoning on Sunday. Now, this was when, obviously, in the 2.x meta, we were going into 3.x, and we had the leaks already that Casterus was going to be the anniversary unit. And I am not sure if by the time that Sunday was out, they leaked the ultimate or not, but pretty much I saw Purple Dragon. I saw her design leak and I said, I need her. And the initial leaks, and this is, my fault 100%. When Sunday came out, I misunderstood what he was advertised to do. I was under the assumption with, there being memo sprites and summons and stuff like that going into 3.x, he would be good for everybody who had that, i.e. Aglaya, which he was, Casterus, Hyacinth, who would like later come out down the line, but I didn't know about her. But I mainly got Sunday for Casterus. Turns out, after I got him, I used him a little bit, but because at this point I had Sparkle, I had Bronya, and Bronya was still, somewhat viable. Also, I had Ron May because Break didn't like Break was still Break. So I really didn't have a slot for him up until Casterus came out. Now, Aglaya came and left. Maide, Triby came and left. And by this point, Casterus beta leaks were saying that, yeah, they're not compatible whatsoever. Whatsoever. And I. It was the first time where I genuinely felt like I was lied to. Because, again, it's leaks, so it is my fault. Because Huohuo didn't officially say, oh, okay, this was how it was going to be. But essentially what ended up happening with Sunday was he was quote unquote good for Aglaya, which he was. He was good for any unit that needed a lot of energy and who was a crit DPS pretty much. Guess what? Like I said, there's Aglaya, there's Argenti, there's Young Lee, if I'm not mistaken. And a year later, we have Evanesia, but at this point, you're not using Sunday with Evanesia because, to my knowledge, outside of the energy, he gives her no buffs that are substantial. So we have a unit here who doesn't do anything particularly well because Hoyo moved away from the energy meta that they were not necessarily building. It was more of a niche team comp because, again, you only had 3 units that had an absurd amount of energy. I mean, you had Firefly too, but like when you use her talent going into battle, she's already gonna have her ultimate pretty much. So yes, that is probably one of the biggest regrets that I have so far. So my next regret would actually be a person who I didn't summon on, and that is the little pink girl Hyacinth. When Hyacinth came out, I actually told my friend who also plays HSR, yo, I want to summon on her. She looks adorable, and turns out she's actually pretty good for Casterus as well. Now, when Hyacinth came out, my in-game currency wasn't where it was supposed to be. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't remember the patch cycle, who was coming out, yada yada yada. But I will say this: I didn't have the currency for it, and then I began to cope, saying, "You know what? I got Gallagher," and so I decided not to summon on her. And lo and behold, Hyacinth actually ended up becoming one of the best units in HSR, period. She is like that. And unfortunately, I missed her on the rerun because this was when I was just getting back into HSR and I was like trying to, summon for elation meta, so I wasn't gonna put any resources into anything that was like, quote unquote old. I wish I did. Actually, I'm gonna double down and say I wish I spent money on Hyacinth. That is the only unit in this game so far that has made me feel like that. Because she, how do you power creep that? Not only is she good for remembrance, she's just a great general healer. And yes, I haven't had trouble sustaining. I have Gallagher, Goat. I have Don PT. I have a E1 S1 Huohuo on my main account, and I have an E1 Huohuo on my free to play account. I don't have issues sustaining, but the reason why I regret not having her is because one, with 3 team content coming this patch at the time of recording, we don't know. Obviously, it's going to be harder than what the 2 team content is, because all it is just that, just magnified. Meaning, ISN would definitely get that job done. There are certain units in HSR in which you would just need, just for comfortability's sake. And I think Hyacinth is one of those units. Yes, if you weren't playing in the allotted time slot for Don PT, that's another unit to where, so yo, if you got Don PT, you're good, you're straight. DPSs, they come and go, so I'm not really gonna fall for the FOMO for that, because like, I mean, if I didn't get Casterus, I knew that like eventually there would be another DPS to come out that would, you know, be Casterus, so to say. It happened with 4.x already. You know, if you didn't get Silver Wolf, you got Evenesia. If you didn't get Evenesia, you have Silver Wolf, etc., etc. But yes, second biggest regret, not summoning for Hyacinth. That is probably the only unit to this day. Like I said, man, I really wish I had her on my account. She is a net positive for any account. Even if you're like, man, I don't know, summon for her. Summon for her. She is that good. Moving on to the third thing I would say that I regret, I would say chasing dupes and DPSs, but most notably Acheron. Now, this was the first instance of where people were saying power creep. I was with you 100%. The power spike between 2.x and 1.x is night and day. Even though Acheron, and I've said this many times, she has very, very, very bad Eidolons. Yes, you know, you get the free 18% crit rate, and with E2, you know, you get one less nihility unit and you still get all the buffs. Cool, fantastic. We later see that get power creep with the Herda and 3.x. Now, the reason why I regret it with Acheron specifically is this: the amount of money I spent trying to get this woman E2, because I fell for the hype. I fell for the, and there are 2 other times where I've also done this, but it worked out in my favor. But like, this specific time was the first time where like it genuinely made me not only depressed, but it also made me want to quit the game. So everyone was talking about, oh man, E2 Acheron, that's all you'll need. She'll get you through all of 2.x, which is true. I mean, hell, even E0 S1 Acheron got me through all the 2.x. But I lost both 50/50s. I had an E1 Acheron. Do you know that I actually just got an E2 Acheron because of the free selector? Because my account was in great standing, so I could have, you know, wasted that free selector on like, you know, bullshit. But during that time, I got Acheron, I got her light cone. After I got her light cone, thank God I did it this way. I went for the dupes. I got all the way up to hard pity, lost to 50/50. I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna force it. Got all the way up to about, I want to say 50 or 60 pity. Got her E1, obviously. And then I tried to go again, bro. I tried to do it again. And I lost a 50/50 again. I looked at my screen, bro. I shook my head and I was like, man, I'm not going to do this again. I can't. And for that entire year, I didn't chase any dupes, bro. Most of my units, this is actually where my philosophy came from, where like, gang, if you can clear content, don't chase dupes. Don't. Because units are going to get replaced. The meta is always going to shift. So all you're doing is just staving off the inevitable. Yes, there are units to this day where like a year down the line, yeah, they're still usable. Like, yeah, you can still use Tribby. Granted, I have an E1 S1 Tribby, but you could still get away with an E0 S0 Tribby. Granted, Blade just came out, so you would want Blade, but Blade is this patch's Tribby. So like Blade is gonna get you up until 5.x, and then another Tribby slash Blade is gonna come out. Do not chase dupes. I don't care if I say it down the line, if when I start doing character reviews, kit reviews, all of that, do not listen to these people saying, yo, if you get an E1 S1 Tribby, yo, if you get an E2 Silverwolf, yo, if you get an E1 Evanesia. Don't. Because, one, don't spend money on this game. Don't. I'm going to tell you straight up, don't spend money on this game. Two, if you are a free-to-play player, that is actually, and this probably doesn't make sense, this is where I would probably say you should invest strictly because that gives you more time to save. That's the only reason. It'll give you more time to save, because if you have an E1 Evanesia, she'll get you through the rest of the cycle. All you gotta do is just invest in a proper support, yada yada yada, and you'll be fine. But for the most part, bro, I would probably tell you, yeah, don't chase dupes, especially in DPSs. If you want to chase dupes, do it in Harmony units, because my god, they're broken. And 9 times out of 10, it's a general buff for your account. But I fell for the FOMO, bro. I fell for the hype. And I was just looking sad at my E1 Acheron, who had 18% crit rate. Ooh. As long as you had a debuff, which I mean, duh, you're gonna have a debuff. So like, I'm sitting here with a goddamn 82% crit rate Acheron. I'm like, well, in battle, she has 100% crit rate, and I'm still using Pela and another Nihility unit because, I didn't get what I want. And I was just sad for like 6 months, bro. That's probably, yeah, one of my biggest regrets. Do not chase dupes and DPSs, bro. I don't care how good it sounds, bro. I don't care if he has the fuck it, let's kill enemy boss button, bro. If you get me E2, don't do that. Don't do it, bro. Alright, so another thing I would regret, and this is a ongoing thing, I would say, do not quote unquote build pity. Don't do it. Because I got this from my friend. It's really just gambling. It's just a gambling addiction, gang. You're like, man, look, I got the shiny toy. I'ma just build pity for the next unit or whatever, right? This man crept into my mind and eroded it with gambling addiction because I have an E1 Sparkle. I was not trying to go for an E1 Sparkle. I just wanted to, look at the summon animation. Oh, I'm gonna build pity, I'm gonna just throw it an arbitrary unit because I forgot who came out after Sparkle. But like, say Boot Hill or whatever came out, right? Who was coming next? I was like, man, I want to build pity for Boot Hill. That doesn't make sense. It genuinely does not make sense, because guess what's gonna happen, bro? You might get that unit in a single, bro. I'm talking about throwing singles, not a whole 10 pull. That's crazy. But like, I'm just throwing singles, trying to, all right, my pity is at 1, 2, 3, bro. When I saw the Harmony sign pull up and Sparkle appeared again on my screen, I said, dog. I mean, cool. It wasn't, I think, obviously it's a 50-50. So like, it's a 50-50. So, it wasn't like it was a guaranteed next unit or whatever. But in my head, the way my head works, and this is probably true, I don't know, like, luck is luck, and luck changes. And what I'm saying is, in a rambling sense, in my head, bro, that was man, I could have had Boot Hill in my next multi, bro. But I wasted it on this Sparkle, on this E1 Sparkle, who to this day, because at that time, I wasn't using Mono Quantum. So, like, what was the point of me even doing that? When you get what you want, and again, this coincides with the don't chase dupes thing, even though I've said, like, towards the end of that section, I said, yeah, it's, if you want to do it on Harmony units, bro, to this day, I don't use Mono Quantum. I don't know what her E1 does. I looked at it, read it, forgot about it.
It could be good. It could be great. I mean, especially since you got an overflare now, it could be fantastic. But yeah, don't do that. Don't chase pity. I mean, don't build pity. Rather, just wait. I promise you, it's not going anywhere except when it leaves. But like, the days are gonna take its time, bro. If you get your unit, if you get your light cone, and you're looking at that banner and it says 14 days left, do not throw singles at it, bro. Out of boredom, turn off the game. If you don't have anything to farm, if you don't have anything to grind, bro, turn it off. Forget about it for a couple of weeks and come back. And guess what? It's like, ooh, new toy. That's when you summon, bro. Don't be like me. Don't waste your potential new units, new light cones, just because you want to build pity out of boredom, bro.
All right. So for the final regret, for this one, I'm gonna put a picture up. And when I put this picture up, bro, do not get mad at me when I say this. Farming the win set, the Eagle set, bro, I want to say this is a regret just off the strength of like how overhyped it is. Now, have I zero cycled before? Yes. In this video, this gameplay is me trying to zero cycle with even easier. Just trying to, whatever, do something different. The win set, bro, is only for people who can zero cycle gang. That's all it is, bro. So whenever you see YouTubers talk about, yo, double relics, triple relics, whatever it is, it's out, go ahead and farm that win set. 9 times out of 10, bro, you better off just using the allotted relics for that unit, bro. Now, the only unit that I will say for sure, for certainty, that like, yeah, I can kind of see where they're coming from with the win set is Kafka. Kafka in the win set, especially after her overflare, is like bread and butter, bro. Other than that, do not waste your stam, do not waste your fuel on farming the win set, bro. If a character wants the magical girl set, like if even easier wanted the magical girl set, put the magical girl set on her. Do not go, oh, but so and so said win set gives her 25% more action value. Does not matter. Just go ahead, put the original thing that's built for her on there. And that's it, bro. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not zero cycling. You gotta have dupes in your units. You gotta have your units cracked out. You 9 times out of 10 gotta run sustainless. And this isn't even me coming at the player base. This is more so what I've seen over the course of 3 years. Bro, a lot of y'all builds ain't like that, gang. A lot of y'all builds aren't warranted farming that set. If you do not want to zero cycle, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. And it took me a while to realize why people were saying, hey, you should farm the win set. Because I would farm it and I'm like, man, I don't get it. Like, and the reason why I didn't get it was because at this point in time in my HSR career, my builds were mid, bro. I can't even say bad, but they were mid. They were mid. You should not be running one set if your speed is 134. If you are not touching 160 plus, bro, do not farm one set. And I'm talking natty 160. I'm talking at the screen, you got a 4-piece relegated set 160. If you are rocking rainbow 160, bro, do not. Like, don't, bro. Just listen to what the game is telling you, bro. If the game is telling you, bro, even Isia needs a magical girl set, put the magical girl set on her, clear the content, bing bam boopity bop. No one cares about zero cycles anymore. Everyone's doing it. You're not getting extra jades. It's not an extra Honkai mission, anything like that. Just farm what is appropriate for the unit. And that's gonna end this video. This is Uncle signing out, and as always, I'll see you next time.